Hello, John here again, and welcome to episode 15 of the community game development series called Hunchback. And in the previous episode, we managed to get our player sprite to move left and right on the screen and to have a little bit of momentum so it doesn't stop dead. In this episode, we're going to introduce the platform sprite. And this is the sprite that we'll be able to jump onto, walk along and fall off, basically. And this is another fundamental component of Hunchback because of the wall. Because the wall of on Hunchback is basically a platform. So that's what we're going to try and achieve in this episode. Is basically just to put a platform on the screen and see if we can walk along it, jump on it, fall off it. Yeah, sounds like a plan. So, let's get into the Raspberry Pi. There we go. And I'll remember to put the keyboard on this time. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There. Ha! Got it. See, I remembered this time. Right, let's load up our project. See if it remembers where we were. Yep, looks like it, because we was in there. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create another file and we're going to call it platforms or platform.py. So this is basically going to contain all our platform. Yes, I've got that. Go away. Don't show again. No thanks. Right, so what we need to do is we are going to import PyGame as PG as usual, and we need the settings. What else do we need? What else do we need? I don't think we need any other imports. So basically the platform's going to be a sprite. So let's start it off like class platform, and it is pg.sprite.S sprite. So that's what we're doing. So creating a class called platform, and it's of type sprite. And like I've said before, this is only just so we can, when we do our conversion, we'll have a platform file that's dedicated to have all the machine code for platforms and stuff like that. So we need to initialize the object. So underscore init underscore, and in this one we need to do self, which is mandatory. In this one we're going to create it. I'm going to say we're going to give you the x coordinate, the y coordinate, what your width is and what your height is, and that's what we're going to do. Then, and forgot that's better, pg.sprite underscore init underscore. So we initialize the base class. Right, so what we need to do is we need to do what we did with player. So we need that bit, we need that bit, we need that bit. Yeah, we need those. So let's copy that. Just paste that into there. Right, so this is not going to be 30 and 40 because this is going to be width, comma, height, because they're the things that we're sending in. Let's make this red. Make platforms red. And so we're getting the hitbox, and so we need to set the position of where we want it. So we're going to set the x equals x and self self.rec.y equals y. And if you remember in the previous episode, let me get the slide back up. We are just using this one here. We've just set that corner for the platform. So we've not bothered with that or that or that. We've just set this one up here. Alright. So back to Python. Right. So we've now initialized the platform. And that's basically it. The platform is just going to sit there looking pretty, getting in the way. Oh, it will help if I spell Sprite properly, wouldn't it? Right. So what we need to do now is we need to put it on the screen. So in game, so here, so that's the player. So let's shift that. Yeah, because that's in the wrong place. We need to put the player there. So let's add a section called platform, shall we? So we need to create a platform. So self.platform1 equals platform. Oh, and that's not going to work, is it? Because we need to do this. Import platform. Now it'll do it. So platform dot, and there should be there, missed it. No, that's not right. It's capital P. Yeah, thought it was. Oh dear. Rename. Thank you. Right, go back to here. So it should now pick it up. So platform. And where's platform? Why is that not picking it up? I wonder if platform is a reserved word. Let's go to PyGame. See if platform's a reserved word. If it is, we'll have to use something else. So, platform. No, doesn't seem to be. Okay, we'll leave it as it is. Right, so we've created a platform sprite. Now we need to add it to the all sprites. I was going to say dot add platform one. So that's going to add it to the all sprites. So it allows us to, update the platform sprite if it was ever going to get updated, and to affect it if we need to. So I forgot to put the dimensions in, didn't I? Right, okay. So we want this sprite to cover the bottom part of the screen, to pretend it's the wall. So we need to make it the width. So we need to make it the width. So that means, so we need to start it at 0 because we wanted to start it on the left hand side of the wall, comma. So it was X and Y, right? So it's going to be settings dot screen height. All right, and let's say times by 0.75. So that's going to put. So that's going to start it at 0 and 3/4 of the way up the screen. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. And so the width of it is going to be settings dot screen width, and the height is going to be, do it same again, settings dot screen height start 0.25. So that fills the rest of the screen. So 0, 3/4 way down for the full width, and 1/4 of the height. Yeah, that sounds like it should do it. Right, let's see what happens. So if we run this, ooh, it didn't like platform, did it? Right, platform. Okay. We're in. Let's make sure we got it. Import platform. Platform dot capital P, and it's not doing it. I bet platform's a reserved word. Okay, platform's a reserved word, I reckon. So let's call it, rename walls. In fact, we'll not call it walls, we'll call it wall. And we'll leave it, we'll still call it a platform. So we need to go into game. So we're importing wall, and here is now wall dot, there we go, platform. Right, platform is a reserved word. Right, let's try that. The name platform 1 is not defined. Oh, go on, can you see what I've done wrong? Forgot that. Ooh, not capitals. Right, let's try again, John, try again. Need to be on that one, John. Come on. Neptune lander all over again. There we go. So we've got our wall. And our little man is still hovering above the wall. So what we need to do now, we need to give our player some gravity aspect. So it can just plonk onto the wall. Right. Let's give our player some gravity, shall we? So, right. Player. Right, so we need to set up we need to set up gravity on here. Ooh, settings. That could be a setting. Let's open settings. Right, so let's add gravity in here, shall we? So what's gravity? Gravity is gravity. And how strong should we make gravity? Let's do that. Let's do that to start with. Right. Oh, where's player gone? Right, so we need to set up the gravity on the player, and the way to do that is to put it in the acceleration on the Y. So every time we go into the loop, it's instantly going to apply the vector with gravity attached, like so. Let's get rid of this terminal window. And then we need to I've got to keep thinking. I mean, we're looking in vectors now, so that should do it. That should actually do it, because we're using vectors. So the velocity here is both x velocity and y velocity, and we're going to be multiplied by the gravity aspect as well. That should work. Go on then, let's see. Come on, land on the platform. Here we go, come on. Oh. Okay. Go on, do that again. Land on the What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? What haven't I done? I'm not testing, am I? I'm not testing for the wall yet. Right. Okay. And that's why the sprite's falling through the wall, because we're not testing for it to stop it. So what we need to do, we need to test that we've hit the wall and to stop the player in its tracks. Now we can't do that here because this is affecting the player itself, and we need to know about the platform, and the player doesn't know about the platform. The only thing, the only class or the file that knows about the platform is game. So we need to go in there, and we need to do an update in there because we need to check that the player hasn't hit a platform. So what we need to do is test for player hitting a hitting a wall. So let's call it what it is. So we need to create a variable called wall hits, and there's a specific command in the sprite class. So PyGame dot sprite dot sprite collision. No, not collision, it's collide. Collide. And what we need to tell it, what sprite we want to test. So it's self.player. So it's us. And what we're testing it against. The platform. Dot platform. Platform 1. Yeah. And the last parameter is whether we want to eliminate that sprite. So when you collide, you can tell it to eliminate the sprite that's collided with you, or to leave it there, and we want to leave it there. We don't want the wall to disappear. So that now should give us a list of sprites that we've hit. So what we need to do, we need to test if we've got any. So if wall hits, so was there any wall hits? If so, self.player, and we need to set the position of the player, comma y is equal to the hitbox of the wall. So if we go back to our thing, yeah. So what we want to do, we're looking for this. We're looking for this. Have we come in and landed on here? So we're looking. We need to test this dot here, the top dot. So let's do that. So we're saying the y is the top dot. So plat. Oh, self.plat for 1 dot rec. It's the hitbox, isn't it? I was nearly going to put hitbox in there. So we're setting the y to the top of the box. So when it hits, we set the y to the top of the box. Right. That. So it hits the top of the box. We set our player's y position to be the top of the box. And that should be it. That should be it. Okay. Let's run it. Let's find out if I've broke it again. Oh, I broke it. Platform object is not yeah, whatever that word. Oh. Oh. Okie dokie. Right. We need to create another. We need to create another one. So we need to create another one. So self.walls equals pg dot sprite dot group. In fact, we'll copy that and put that there so it's with that one. Oh, I've made a mistake. Shouldn't have a capital as the start. I'm trying to follow the conventions and I've broken it already. Anywhere else? Oh, there's another one there. Oh, there's another one there. Right, let's go back up. Right, so we're creating another sprite group specifically for the walls. So as well as adding it to the all sprites, we're going to add it to the wall. Well, walls dot add self dot platform 1. And so what the error was it saying it wasn't it wasn't a group of sprites we was testing. we was only testing a single sprite here. So this is, we now need to do walls. Yeah, and that means here we need to do wall hits. Don't need to do self. Not there. Don't think so. No. Wall hits. And it's the first one that we want to check. Right. That should work. Famous last words. Said that last time. Look what happened. Right. I'm learning this just as much as you are. Oh! Hey, you picked it. Oh. Oh. Right, okay. That's happened because in player, yeah, we set it to center, so we set the XY to the center, and because we're testing the top of the thing, and then we set our center of the sprite. So basically what's happened is we're testing for here, but then we're setting this one, and so you're sort of ending up with this sort of thing. Yeah, so we're setting our position on the X, but the top, the rect dot top, needs to line up with there, but we're not. We're lining it up with that, and so we end up with, as you can see, oh, I've stopped it, the sprite halfway down into the wall. So what we need to do is we need to change the way, well, what we need to do is, yeah, change the way we work it out. So we know the height because our hitbox has a height, and we know we're setting the center one, so we need to push it up half our height. So we say here player.pos.y is equal to the platform top and minus the player's rec, so that brings it up halfway, minus the player's height, which brings it that, divided by 2, so it brings it up halfway, and that would be the point there. Or we can make life really, really simple and say, why don't we just make the bottom it? And so we end up changing this, so that becomes the new equation. So instead of player.y equals player.y is equal to the center, yeah, the player.y is going to equal the rec top. So we need to change our position equals rec center to position equals mid bottom. So I hope that makes sense. So let's do that. So we don't want center. We want self.rec.mid bottom equals self.position. Right. So when we hit run there, I'm hoping, yes, get in there, John, get in there, get in there, look at this, we are on the wall where we fell down onto the wall. Let's do that again. For some reason it's, oh, friction is really high. Yeah. I thought it was a bit slow. Right, let's try that again. Dump. Oh, and it's just dropped just a bit too far. Dropped a bit too far. How do we do that? How do we solve that? That's a bit strange that it's dropped. Let's do that again, because that should have set the bottom Ooh. I wonder if we should set the bottom. Let's try that. No such thing as bottom, John. Okay, there's no such thing as bottom. Mid, bottom. So why is this? Why is this not? Why is this not doing it right? Let's have a look. So we're setting gravity, setting acceleration, times it by the friction. Yeah. So why, even though player.y is equal to the top of the wall. That's right. Oh. Okay. I think. Yeah. Did you see that? I don't know if you can see it. If I run it, it slows down. Watch. It slows down. We're not here. We're setting the gravity acceleration, but we're not clearing out the velocity. So when we hit the wall, it still has velocity, so it still tries to carry on, and so it does one more calculation. So what we need to do here is we need to tell that self.player.velocity dot y, we only want to change the up and down velocity, is 0. So when it does its next calculation run, it's got no no velocity or anything. Let's try that. Does that do it? Oh, and of course I'm running the wrong program. There we go. Whew. Oh, I was worried then. So that is a successful landing, I think. So we've got gravity installed in our player, because it works it out in the momentum calculation here. It works it out here. So velocity is velocity equals velocity plus our acceleration, and we've got acceleration y set to the gravity pull of gravity, and then we set it, but now we're setting mid bottom. So you've got to remember that our sprite now, our xy coordinates are right at the very bottom, halfway underneath, halfway across the width instead of the center. And the only reason we needed to do that is because we are testing the top of the wall, and we needed a way of setting our sprite to be sitting on the wall, and which is to set the y coordinate, and then that y coordinate goes and is set. We set the mid bottom point of the sprite with that point. So we're effectively saying this value here goes there, which means that it would have make the sprite just sit there on top of it. what we doing? How are we doing for time? How are we doing for time? Let's have a look. Time. 30 minutes. Another 30 minutes. Bring it on. Hey, I'm doing all right. Oh, I better not speak too soon. Right. I think that's a good place to stop. So the next thing we need to do is to make our block be able to jump. Because once we've put jump on, we can then put more wall segments in to make it look more like a castle thing with turrets. So that's what we'll do in the next video. Is we'll add the jump mechanics to see if we can get our block to jump and jump properly. Right. Okay. If you like what I do, hit that like button. If you don't like what I do, fine. Just hit the dislike button. Always leave me a comment. And if you like what I do and would like to support me, consider becoming a patron of mine. Because all the money raised in Patreon is put back into the channel. And with that, I will say, see you in the next video. Take care. Bye. I'd like to thank all the patrons that are contributing to my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you very much.